Alright, what's up, Cradle fans? This is a fun video because I get to do it on a current event that's happening in the space right now, and it's about the Kickstarter. So Will wrote an article about how he met up with Michael J. Sullivan and his wife, and they talked about doing a Kickstarter campaign to create like a hard copy of Uncrowned. And there'll be perks that go along with this, and etc., etc. And the response from the community was interesting because it felt like there was a big response. Maybe there wasn't, but I saw Will in the thread a lot. And normally he doesn't really get into the Reddit very often, but it seemed like this was something that was pretty near and dear to his heart because he was commenting on everything. And he seemed super worried that people thought he was just doing a money grab, and he really wanted to make sure people understood that that wasn't true. So I wanted to make a video to talk about the whole thing and my thoughts on it. So I agree, Will doesn't care about money. He absolutely does not care about money. I know this because last year at DragonCon, I was hanging out with him and a couple other authors during the normal DragonCon meet and greet that he does. And the other authors were talking about their Patreon pages and how awesome it was to get recurring revenue, monthly recurring revenue, which for entrepreneurs is extremely important because it creates some financial stability. These authors showed, like, straight up took their phones, were like, look at all my numbers, this is amazing. And Will was like, oh yeah, that's crazy, good numbers. And I mean, I was sitting there, I was like, you should totally do a Patreon because people would love to do that. Like people would love to support you. They just want to throw money at you. And he was like, yeah, but it's not really who I am. So he hasn't created a Patreon. In fact, in one of the bloopers of his books, he talks about the Patreon and he makes a joke about it. So that, squashes that. But what I want to really talk about here is the importance and potential of this idea for his business going forward, for the product offerings that the community and the fans can get going forward. It's important that he does this. It's more important that his team does this. So as an entrepreneur and as a solopreneur, when someone first gets started, one of the biggest gaps that happens between being productive on your own and growing a business is learning to build a team, to manage a team, and to delegate tasks that you don't want to do. It's a huge problem for lots of entrepreneurs. It's a huge problem for lots of authors. It is not a huge problem for Will. For whatever reason, he knew that he needed a team. His family got involved, whatever, and he grew a team. So now he has a team of people that support his business and do the things in a business that he wouldn't want to do. All he probably wants to do is write books and play video games and do other fun stuff, but mainly write books, we hope. As far as the business is concerned, his job is to write books, and that's it, right? So now enter the Kickstarter campaign. Kickstarter is not just a way to crowdfund an idea to turn it into a product. It's also a powerful way to pre-sell products. It's a powerful way to gauge market intent. It's a powerful way to create a case study for potential third-party partnerships down the road and what have you. But most importantly, it's an important way for his team to gain a new skill. So his team will be the ones that are operating this Kickstarter campaign. Kickstarter campaigns are not easy. They're hard. And even if you have a product that's going to sell, they're still hard to do. It's a lot of upkeep. So for his team to learn how to do this is important for the future, especially if this pilot program that he's going to do for Uncrowned goes well. They'll now have a case study with metrics showing Will's platform and how powerful his community is and his fan base is. He can then take that and pitch video game designers or tabletop game developers or whatever. He has that in the bag. So in the future, say when the Cradle series ends and he's moving on to a new series, but Cradle fans want more Cradle, he can then take this to his team, say, I want more product offerings in the Cradle universe. And then they can take these case studies from how well the community has responded to show that there are buyers for whatever products he makes, especially in the most popular of his book series. He can then take that and take it to a game designer, and the game designer sees that there is a market fit for a product. It's amazing. So if he does the Kickstarter, we need to support him because it allows his business to scale and it allows us to get more of the shit that we like. That's pretty much all I'm going to say on the matter. So it's not about Uncrowned. It's not about getting the book early. It's not about any of that. All that's nice. Getting a hard copy is cool. I mean, I love being able to like show the books, you know? I love being able to hold them. I love to, whenever friends come over, be like, this is my favorite series. You should read it. In fact, you can read the first chapter, but give it back because it's personalized. So that part's cool, but it's not the most important part. There's a bigger picture here, and I really don't want the community to hate on the idea and make Will feel uncomfortable, because as an author, his finger's much more on the pulse of his community than any other author I've known, or any other creator of a consumable product that I've known. He engages with the fans. He works with the fans to build out the universe. They ask him questions, he answers it. It gets put into the word of Will, which gives me material to make videos, which a lot of you like. So help support the ecosystem. When he launches the Kickstarter, go support it. Use it as a way to get your friends that aren't into Cradle. That's it. That's all I have to say. It's under 10-minute video. Support the Kickstarter.